Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
We've been gone for a minute.
I know.
Now we back with the jump off. So we probably have to speak a little bit louder because we are very quiet voices. So
Okay.
the disclaimer for today is we're going to be talking about anxiety and depression. And I don't want us to trigger anyone. So if it's something that you are dealing with right now and you don't feel like you're going to be able to kind of cope with the conversation, this is the disclaimer. You can log off at any time. We will not be upset. We totally understand. And we are not trying to trigger anyone. We're just trying to talk about it and share experiences and show that you're not by yourself.
Not at all.
So yeah, that's the disclaimer. Yeah. So good morning. And welcome back to Strawberry Lemonade.
Hope everybody is doing great
Yes.
on this lovely Sunday.
I'm Yaya.
I'm Kayla.
And yeah, so let's backtrack a little bit because we've had a lot going on. Our event, for all of those who did not come or watch, it was lit.
It was lit, bitch.
Y'all missed out. Y'all missed out. We can't wait to have another one.
Yes.
I'm thinking all white.
That would be cute.
Rooftop.
We need to have a cute event.
Yes.
The sip and pay was so fun.
Really had fun.
We had so much fun.
I was
yeah. And we had a great turnout. A lot of people actually did show out, and I was really happy.
I looked at the guest list for everybody that bought a ticket we had 15 tickets. So we sold out. But only 2 or 3 people didn't come because everybody else was there and brought people. It was we didn't even know everybody that was there, which I really liked.
Yes, it was really fun.
Yeah, it was a good event. We had that good ass drink.
Yes,
that spiked strawberry lemonade
was amazing. He had lemons in there. It was so fruity and delicious, so and it snuck up on you.
Because I had 3.
Done.
And it was vodka. I don't even do vodka. And it was lit. It tastes so good.
Yes.
And we have really good conversation, and it led a million different places.
Yes. We talked about everything.
We
relationships.
Threesomes.
Yes. Always dick.
Always. It never fails. It never fails. We're freaking hoes life. It never fails. We talked about friendships. We talked about
the friendships were so complex.
We talked about that stuff got hit deep. It hit deep. Very. And then we had friends there and couples there, so it was
they talked about their stuff.
It was
it was a great conversation though.
It was good. I liked it. Everybody gave great feedback too. They're oh, we had so much fun. I can't wait for the next one. My friend is I'm waiting for the next sip and paint because I want a lemon to paint.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, she was I want to have a whole strawberry lemonade collage. I was okay.
That is cute.
Well, not the next one, but the next one maybe. Yeah. So we're in Taurus season.
I know.
So I want to talk about Taurus. Really?
I do.
I am Taurus. Are bittersweet for me.
I understand why. You have to learn to deal with Taurus.
For sure. For sure.
Because it will bother you. It will bother any normal human being. But once you understand and you learn, you're oh, she didn't mean it like that. Okay. She means all love. So
it's hard to get there though. I think I might kind of there. I'm not even gonna say I'm all the way there because sometimes I still can't. I can't. I can't. I have 2 really, really, really close friends that are Taurus. And it is an experience.
It is.
One of my friends'
Good
birthday.
Morning.
Hey y'all. One of my friends' birthday is tomorrow. She's really my friend in Georgia. Shout out to Kosh. She yeah, and she And when I met her, for some reason, I just wanted to be her friend. You know how you meet people
That's
like
exactly how it was with my best friend's a Taurus.
Yeah.
Yetunde. And when we first met in high school, it was like, I don't want to leave you. Where are you going next? Like, that's how it was.
I don't know why, though.
They have, like,
that energy.
Yeah, it's a connection. It draws you in.
It does, though. But it's like, then once you're there, it's like,
I want to be here.
Do I even want to be with you anymore? Because at first it's so strong. And they're earth signs, so like we're not really compatible with earth signs because we move all over the place. But it's like, for some reason, I just want to stay here, but at the same time, I don't want to be around you at all.
Yeah.
But two of my closest friends, like, wow, we do have like that plays strong positions in the, so they are really stubborn, really headstrong, don't like being wrong, don't want to admit they're wrong. They are really loyal though. Once they fuck with you, that's it. Like they there forever. They also, once they're not completely against admitting that they've done something wrong.
Yeah, they're not. My friend will.
It takes a minute sometimes to get them to that point, but once they're there, they're like genuinely apologetic.
Someone said my dude is a Taurus. I was like, I didn't like him before, but now I love him. I'm a Gemini, but on the 20th of June, I'm a mixed Gemini and a Cancer.
So, I'm a Gemini and my ascending is Cancer.
Yes. So you feel us,
but I'm like a pure Gemini, like June 8th. Like I can't be all the way with a Taurus. Like I don't see myself being in no relationship with a relationship.
I don't know.
A friendship, I could like be like,
bye. I could probably be in a relationship with a Taurus because I'm fake married to Yetunde right now. So
yeah, we getting like, you know what I realized? We get really attached and codependent on our person. I think I'm starting to get really codependent with you.
That's fine because I feel it. Like when you love somebody,
it's like I can't help it.
It connects. Yeah.
It's just like this week, like for the past few weeks, we've been kind of all over the place, and we were doing real consistent.
Yeah.
So then it was like,
something's missing. Kayla? Yes, I feel it. Like something's missing.
Like, where is she? Let me raise back. Hey. But
someone asked what's my sign. I'm a Leo. So.
But yeah, so Taurus are really loyal. Taurus also are like a little bit more organized.
Hell yes. She taught me how to be organized.
They're really organized. Like they are able to, like my friend Sarah that came to the event with the bun.
Yeah.
Girl, she's on her shit. Like her landlord asked her to like stay at the apartment and then she could rent it out type. Like that's how on her shit.
That's lit.
She sells hair. She does hair. She does endless events. Like she is like on it. And Taurus are super like, it's an earth sign thing, I think. Because they're really organized and able to execute their plans effectively, and they're committed and consistent.
Yes,
opposed to like fire signs and air signs, we're kind of like, I really want to do it, but I gotta go over here real quick.
Yeah, that's why I try to stay close to her because I know if I go with her or if I'm around her, we're gonna get that shit done.
Yes. My friend that's in Georgia is a Taurus, and she just like she was like, I want to have my own daycare. Girl, she making money from just having a daycare. She has her own daycare. It's like she just said, I'm gonna do this, and she had, of course, she got bumps along the way, but she did that. Now she on to like the next phase. So
Sienna said, matter of fact, I want to know how I can judge a person off their sign.
How can you judge them? What do you mean?
Like the way people know how people, like what people do, like how you're just like Taurus or this.
Oh.
You see, okay, I'm learning right now. She's the sign expert.
I'm not an expert.
Yes, you are. Every time you like, you are annoying. Like you be knowing. But her advice to me was to like just look at the people that are around you and figure out what their signs are and take note of their actions, and you will start to learn. And I really have. Like, my grandma's a Virgo, my cousin's a Virgo, and I see similarities in them. Virgos make sure you're good. Like, they will make sure you are good.
Virgos are also really, really organizing, like getting stuff done.
Yes,
they're good at that too. Earth signs are doing that. Like, they do that.
Yes.
I wasn't always like that though. Like, now, if I meet you and I know your sign, it's like a gift and a curse. Like, when you do hair and then you like going to hair school, I know how stuff's supposed to look. So when I go to like the movies, I'm looking in the video in the movie, like, she could have did better than that. Like, that wig, all the lace fronts. I did it yesterday. I was like, all the lace fronts now, and she gotta have that leave out. Like, it's like when you learn about signs and stuff now, it's like, you a Pisces, I'm not gonna deal with you.
I feel
you a Capricorn, I'm good. Like, I don't. So it's just read books, internet. It's pay attention. When you see somebody and you get like a little feeling like, what is this? Like, what is this about you? What's your sign? That's what I do all the time. When somebody say something that kind of like turns me off or triggers me, or that I really like, even if I really like it, I'd be like, when your birthday?
Where is this coming from?
Yes. And then it's like, okay. And you realize, like, lately I've been meeting so many Leos. So when I hear certain stuff, I'd be like, when your birthday? And they like,
that's a Leo thing.
Like, oh, that's why. I know, Dakia, you're not like other Capricorns so far. Like, she was the coolest one I done met.
This guy was like, I'm a Taurus. Tell me about them.
We just was
talking about them.
We just did.
My mom say, judging a person off their sign, but I find it not fair, but I understand.
That's something.
Female signs versus male signs are totally different. That's another thing.
I'm happy you said that, because I just had this conversation with my friend like last week. About
the males and the females.
Not even just males and females, but about the accuracy of signs. No, we're not here to tell you that just because this is your sign that this is a guarantee of what you're going to do. I don't even feel like that. I do, however, feel like it's a good blueprint for what to expect from someone. I don't think, I don't think that, for example, I'm a Gemini. People say Geminis are two-faced. I don't think I'm two-faced, but I know some two-faced Geminis. It doesn't mean that people are, just because this is what it says about you, that's completely what you need to go off and say, I don't want to deal with this. Me personally, like I said, a Capricorn. I wouldn't be in a relationship with a Capricorn. I could be a friend, but I couldn't be in a close relationship with a Capricorn because of all of the Capricorn. Like, one of my friends is a Capricorn. One close
my
friend.
brother is a Capricorn.
And it's like, I just can't. The other people that, it's like their family. So I'm dealing with them. But I couldn't, just because of how conversations and arguments and all of those things go. I prefer not to be in a relationship with someone like that. I'm not completely opposed to meeting one and maybe getting to know them, but I'm not going to say I'm completely against it. Oh, wait, we got stuff on the Strawberry Limb. Follow Strawberry Limb, guys.
Yes.
I don't judge people for their sign, but it just helps me to understand individuals' traits that they don't have control over. Yes. Thank you. Perfect.
Yes.
I want to learn more about all the signs. I basically just know all the signs that's around me. Yeah, and that's good. That's a good way to start, though.
Yeah.
At first, I started getting into this. My son, both of my children are Pisces. Their dad is a Pisces. My sister's a Pisces. My grandmother's a Pisces. My niece, my aunt, these are all Pisces. I learned them, so I know I could tell you probably more about Pisces than I could tell you about a Gemini. Like, I'm around them so much and interacting and close relationships. It just takes learning and reading and really, like, being committed to it, really.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Someone said, tell them again, I'm not like the typical Gemini you hear about. Yeah. It's not.
Geminis
everybody's different. Everyone's different.
Right. And it's like people sign shame all the time.
They definitely sign shame Geminis.
We get a bad rap. And it's like, we're some of the most loyal people you will meet. We are very sporadic and inconsistent, but not in a... It's like, you just have to know who we are.
Yeah.
We're up, we're down. That's just how we are. but we hold loyalty that's very high standards. Like sometimes it's like unrealistic and unattainable how high we want you. Like we want loyalty, like bad, but we can't. Okay, so we have to talk about other things, guys. Okay. Ask questions, we'll answer them, but we're gonna move on. So the moon for the week was where we were in the last phase of the moon. Okay. So it was time for us to like end planning, like just kind of like take a break, which is funny because this is your last week of events and my last week of doing stuff, and it just kind of like a wind down period.
I definitely felt that.
Yeah, it was just like ending.
It feels good too.
Yeah.
To get all this crap out of the way.
Yeah. It's like, it's just time to like chill, meditate, regroup, recharge, and get ready for the next phase. And if you felt like a little kind of like not sluggish or slow, but more like, I think I'm just finished for right now. Yeah. It's like that's probably what it was. Okay, yes, Juju. So, yeah, that was that. So what we're gonna talk about today is anxiety and depression.
So raise your hand if you suffer from anxiety and depression. Let's start off there. If it was a room, everybody would be like, and I just say that for people to understand how normal it is and that you are not alone. Like everybody goes through it. You could be the most successful person in the world. You could be doing everything you want to do.
Some of the most successful people are on drugs and killing themselves and everything because of how depressed and anxious they are. But
yes, I have some hands. Yeah. Girl, yes. So it's a very normal thing. It's a very normal thing. And a challenge that I had when I opened up about my depression is that a lot of people, and I'm not saying this is the wrong advice, but a lot of people try to like church the depression out of you. Like, just go to church, girl. Just pray. It's like, what you think I've been doing? That's not all I need. Like, it has to be something else out here. I have prayed. And I still feel the same. And a lot of it for me was learning the source, understanding where it comes from, and working with it. Like, I feel like anxiety is something that if you have it, you're going to probably deal with it for the rest of your life. But there are things that you can do to regulate it so that your leg doesn't jump every time you have to speak, or you don't ask the questions that you want to ask because you're just afraid. I had that problem in high school. Like,
I still got that problem.
I would have a question and I would just be sitting on it and I would be like fighting with myself, like, raise your hand. Don't raise your hand. Raise your hand. Like, ask the question. And a lot of the times I did not ask the question just because I have anxiety.
Yeah, she said that's people definitely try to church it out of you. Yes. I'm not a church goer. I'm not a. I was raised. We're gonna have a religion conversation later, another day. Yes. But I wasn't raised in a church. But I do know what you mean by church it out of you, because a lot of people I met tell you, like, even if you're gay, go like to church, and it'll be fixed.
No.
My friend I live with in Georgia, one of the people I live with, she's gay. She said her grandma had like a whole prayer circle around her trying to take the gay out. I was like, what?
Get this demon.
Like, what is that?
Okay, someone said, can I ask y'all a serious question? Do you feel like at some point depression/anxiety is becoming a trend?
Okay, I know what you mean.
Or is it more like a Me Too thing?
I know what you mean. Now, this is the thing I like to think about that. So, I've been dealing with that since I was little, young. Like, I could remember times, feelings that I have now, having them as a child, but not knowing what they were. I feel like some people use anxiety and depression as a reason for why they're doing fucked up stuff. Because people are coming out saying, this is something I'm battling, this is something I'm dealing with, And the response that you get is empathy, sympathy,
Mm-hmm.
affection, comfort. And I think that some people just like that, and they see that that's the response that people get. So they use it as like oh, me too, yes. Me too. I am
Mm-hmm.
too. I feel that too. And I think that people sometimes use that as a reason to people sometimes use that as a reason to like not cope with whatever it is that's really
Mm-hmm.
going on. They use something else. They use that as a risk, like they use that as a reason to
Continue to do the fuck
yes,
shit.
yes, and say,
Yes.
well, I was depressed, I was anxious.
Yeah.
Keep talking, I'm gonna be right back.
Um, I personally don't think that it's a trend or like the Me Too movement. A lot of people had awareness or became aware that this stuff was going on. And I feel like with depression and anxiety, it's happening now. Like a lot of people are really going through this shit. Like you can't tell somebody that they're not depressed when they go home every day and they cry and they can't get stuff done and they're like crippled. You can't tell people that they're not depressed. So I do feel like it is a real thing. I think there's a lot of American people, not even American, all over the world that are depressed and we don't really talk about it. So someone said she has anxiety and she has tattoos. Religious people down talk me so bad. It's crazy. I just don't even talk about my anxiety anymore. I just smile and cry in my car. Yes. Girl, you are not alone, Lauren. I want you to know. Someone said Caribbean people see past that so much. Yes. I feel like it's foreign parents cuz I have like people who are from Nigeria whose parents don't really like talk about that stuff either. It's a hard discussion because a lot of people they're just afraid when you say that you're depressed. They feel like you're crazy.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna get you up to date. So basically, somebody said that she doesn't go to church because she has like a whole bunch of tattoos, and a lot of people will judge you. So she just cries in her car.
That's so horrible.
I know.
I can't wait for the religion discussion.
Yeah,
like that is so horrible.
That you feel like that when the church is supposed to accept you for who you are. Like it doesn't matter what you have on your body.
So horrible. I feel go eat. Look, find another. Do something else. Meditate. Mm-hmm. Like you don't have to. That's so. That makes me so upset.
It is. It is. That's supposed to be a place where you go to get help. But yeah. I'm not gonna down the church because a lot of the times it's people in the church that make things bad. Like I will talk to my grandma like, why is so and so doing this? Isn't she a Christian? And it's just what it is.
Don't get me started. Okay. But
my parents took my medications away. Oh my gosh.
Why?
You see, and that's why I say a lot of people are depressed because we have parents who don't get it. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of the depression stems from our childhood and things that have happened to us. And that's why I don't believe that it's a trend or a fad.
I don't think it's a trend or a fad, but I think sometimes people say it and they're not.
Yes, I agree with you because I had a coworker who I literally opened up to her, and then the next week she was like, can you take my shift because like this depression? I'm like, girl, I literally just told you this.
Let me tell you the craziest thing is that I think people who really are dealing with it are less likely to talk about it because they're dealing with it. It's like a mental like block. I know when I get to a certain point, I kind of just shut all the way down. Mm-hmm.
If I talk about it, I will cry.
Me too, and I think that's why I'm not getting look. Yes. But I shut down like. I don't want to.
She said, yes, parents don't get it. Please say that shit again. They swear it would have made me go crazier. First of all, you're not crazy. People need to understand the science of a lot of things. First of all, a lot of us with our background, it's like there's a whole bunch of different chemicals. Like we come from different places. You have different things in our blood. That creates chemical imbalances and that affects your brain and how you move through things. Some people need to put another type of chemical or something in their body to balance it out. And that's completely fine. Like, if you have to take, I have a friend, I can tell you, in high school, that bitch used to move like she was crazy. Like, and she got on her medications and it really helped her, like,
balanced her out.
Yes, and be able to function and do adult-like things. So,
I think that the deepest depression I've gotten is, like, I could remember recently is I can remember two deep ones. Like, I don't even like to talk about it, but we're being real here, and we want you guys to feel open. Don't hug me. I will cry.
Girl, we can cry. We can cry together. I love to cry. You have to cry.
I'd rather be angry than cry. Oh wait, I just keep my depression to myself because when you share it with people,
this nigga said.
Oh, because when you share it, people automatically assume you're seeking some type of sympathy or exactly, and you're not really looking for that. You just need to talk. Sometimes all you have to do is talk, and it's messed up because we feel so like closed off and don't want to say anything and don't want to talk about it because people around you that aren't dealing with that are telling you go do this. Oh, it's not that bad. You're being sensitive. You're being emotional. You're worried about the wrong stuff. The other day, I had somebody literally tell me, you're worried about the wrong stuff. You need to control your own happiness. Like, what are you talking about?
This, and this going for you. Why are you depressed?
Wait, let me make sure. Oh, sorry.
This man says, so alcohol is a good balance. Elaborate. I'm talking about medications. Like, do not self-medicate. That's not good.
Okay, let me talk about self-medication. I self-medicated before. In 2015... I was in a relationship and it was a tough relationship. I loved it. I would not change it, but I shouldn't have been in it when I was in it. And I started like doing everything. Like I was like wilding. I honestly, it started with like a toothache and then I took or like Tylenol 3, and it went away. And I was like, oh, this feels good too, though. So I just kept, and I didn't feel anything. I would always take like Oxycontin, Tylenol.
Oh, bitch, you was on drugs.
Codeine. Like I was doing my thing. I felt great. I never felt sad. Oh wait, I don't open up to people. I just sit to myself and write it out or meditate. Meditating is all good things. I'm not saying that's not talking. Like, you should talk to people for sure, just because that way you know that you're not alone. But writing, meditation, those are also types of self-medication. Like, that helps you. That's what you should do.
This girl said, I haven't picked up clients in so long because of this too. Yes, depression
It
will affect your business.
It stops your life.
Like, it can have a crippling effect on you. I have been in a position where I just sat there and let my life go by because I was just so sad. I could not function.
Me too.
That's a real thing. And you know it's a real thing because if you go to if you're in school and you go to the board about it, they will excuse you from classes and stuff like that because that's a real thing. So if you're in school and you're battling depression, there's a lot of things that you can do to help.
It affects your life. Like when I was
it's hard speaking to people because they judge you.
They do, but you have to learn who to talk to and who not to talk to. Everybody can't deal with you at your worst. Some people only want to deal with you when you're good.
Yes. I think the worst time in my life was when I opened up about my depression. First, I opened up to this older lady, and she was like, don't say that. I was like, I'm depressed. She was like, don't say that. I said, bitch, I'm depressed. So what are you saying? Don't say that for. Like, it's what it is what it is. I've accepted it. I've been dealing with it for a long time. It is what it is. And then one of my friends tried to like church it out of me. And we kind of fell off because of it.
Yes.
Because honestly, I can say that my views and like the way I was thinking was really fucked up. I lost like half of my friends because
but that's like how you can tell who's there. Because I've been to the point where I like I was bad.
Cut your friends off?
No.
You cut your legs?
Yes. I have like scars and like I was like, wilding.
Going
Like
through
I
it,
had
girl.
when I was doing like all that stuff, like I lost so much. When I tell you I lost so much weight, I'm happy I lost the weight, but the way that I did it was horrible. Mm-hmm. Like I was like my face was like
sinking
I had
in.
It was a friend I had, and I hadn't seen her in like months. And when I seen her again, we had fell out, and so we met up to talk, and she was like, "You're so skinny." Like my son's dad was like, "You don't know what it's like to," like we were arguing one time. He was like, "You don't know what it's like to look at you being so looking so skinny," and like,
oh my God,
like
that
they were like,
so
it was like hard, like that was hard, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting thinking, feeling so bad because at the time I only had one son. Like literally, that's the only thing I cared about was like him. So like when he was around, I wouldn't be doing no kind of drugs. Like I would maybe like drink a little bit, but like not really. I got real hooked on like Adderall because it would make me focus and be awake, and I just wouldn't feel anything. Yeah, I just wouldn't. Yeah, mm-hmm. And so I used to smoke a lot when I was depressed before, but I think maybe my tolerance got too high, so I tried to find other stuff to do, and yes, I just, it was horrible. Like it was bad, and I was like you always see me. My eyes was just always like. My eyes was always black, and like my face looked, I don't know, like mm-hmm. That's how I look.
The skeletal.
Yeah, I just was not with, like it was tough.
So, and going back to knowing who your friends really are, mm-hmm. and this is what I learned, because when you're going through depression, you're not thinking straight, right?
Right.
And this is kind of a topic that is still fresh to some people. Like, people are just opening up about it, like mm-hmm. talking on Twitter about it, all types of stuff. People don't know how to deal with people going through depression, and I understand. Like, how can I deal with somebody who I love and I care about, and they're shutting me out, mm-hmm. and they don't want to talk to me about anything. They look at me like a piece of shit, because that's what you start to think about your friends. Girl. Mm. Like, and that's when I learned, when I lost most of my friends, when I was at my lowest state, I had to learn, like, these people really do love me. Like, even Yatande, me and Yatande did not talk for like 6 months. Oh, wow. And I can say it's because I really gave up on our friendship. She was like trying, and yeah. I just thought so negatively about her, because I was going through things in my brain that I was sad. You know, misery likes company. You start to
learn that for sure.
You start to do stuff to like complicate your relationships. You put people,
and it's all unintentional. Like yeah. You're not doing it intentionally. Mm-hmm. When my 2017, 18. Okay, so in 2017, in January, my cousin died. Mm-hmm. In June, my cousin died that I was real close to, that lived in Georgia, where I live. That I gave up on, like, anything. I was just, like, checked out. And then right after he died, I found out I was pregnant, mm-hmm. which also messes your hormones up. I don't care what anybody says, that fucked your head up. And then after I found out I was pregnant, in August, my other cousin died.
Oh, my gosh.
And then in October, November, my aunt died, all in 1 year. And that's crazy. I stopped being friends with who at the time was my best friend. I was having issues within my relationship. I hated my son's dad. I was always I lost like friends that I had in Georgia. I was always quiet and crying and mean, mm-hmm. and like I couldn't do anything because I was pregnant, so it's not like I could take drugs, stuff. I would just kind of close myself in the room and not talk. I started questioning everybody's loyalty. Mm-hmm. I started feeling like nobody was there for me. I started being just miserable, and I was feeling like nobody cared or nobody was here. And it just turned into like a thing. Even that year, the beginning of the year, like in April, something happened to my son. Mm-hmm. Some bad stuff happened to my son that I didn't know about. And so it turned into like this just dark cloud that was always over my head. Mm-hmm. And I started, it took me like literally to now almost that I'm even like okay to be like I was depressed. I was treating people bad. Mm-hmm. I was like not
acknowledging faults.
Yeah, I was. Mm-hmm. It's like to now, like now I can do that this year, and up until it was from like June 2017 until like December of last year, January of this year, and I had to like change a lot of the dynamics of certain relationships and certain relationships just to get myself back to where I felt like I should be. Mm-hmm. And I had like a lot of anger built up about stuff that happened when I was a kid. Like when you're depressed, everything that ever happened to you, you thinking about it.
Yeah, and it just dig a hole,
and you just sit in the depression. Hole. Mm-hmm. And it's like I find myself getting into like mini depressions all the time because I can overthink into this dark space. Mm-hmm. And I have to like be like, okay. At this point, I'm like, okay, today's a bad day. It's okay. I feel like this for a reason. Talk about the reason, meditate it out, mm-hmm. cry it out, whatever I gotta do. Even if I gotta talk to people. And the thing about talking to people, the people that I feel tell me like you're worried about the wrong stuff, or like it's like certain people you can't vent to, but mm-hmm. those also at this point in my life, I don't need those kind of people. Yeah. Because I'm going through something that I'm trying to get out of. So I feel like I need people that I could just say, look, today's a bad day. I feel horrible. I'm mm-hmm. depressed. And they're like, it's okay. I'm coming over. I got mm-hmm. you. Like, I don't need people telling me stop worrying about the wrong shit. Because I just can't. I can't.
That doesn't give you any growth. That doesn't help you at all.
No.
Not at all.
No. So.
That's definitely a thing. So how
postpartum is also real.
Yes. So somebody said pregnant hormones is something I don't think ever went away. Shaking my head.
Postpartum depression. My son is in there acting a fool right now. Mm-hmm. Just so y'all know, and I'm trying really hard not to go in there and get him, but I might have to. So he might join the conversation. Mm-hmm. But postpartum depression is real. Mm-hmm. I was going through a lot of stuff while I was pregnant. I was depressed both times that I was pregnant. I don't know if I could ever be able to. I can't see myself having a good positive pregnancy just because my hormones are like literally. I'm a Gemini. My hormones are out of whack already. Mm-hmm. So like, put a pregnancy and I'm just fucked up. Like I can't picture myself being like happy. I want to, but I can't. Some people have really good pregnancies. Some people don't. Going through postpartum depression is real. Like that's part of my depression that I just was talking about. And I basically like shut me and my baby off from the world. Like I locked us in a room a lot. It was points where I was like, I just can't do this. And I would get my kid to.
Oh, he's in the other room.
And I would give, sorry, that was my mom. And I would give my baby to his dad and just be like, I was in Georgia by myself a lot once. And once I kind of checked out, I kind of didn't want to be around anybody. Mm. So it was points where I never thought about her and my kids. And I'm happy about that because that was like a really big fear. Because when I was pregnant, I knew I was going to go through postpartum because of how bad I was feeling. And I was hoping that I wouldn't, but I knew that I would. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people want to hurt their babies because it's just something in them telling them, like, to do it. Yeah. And they hurt themselves and I was like, after I had him, I think I just kind of whatever it is, thank God, I could focus on my kids and I might not be happy, but I can make sure it gets done. Mm-hmm. And I think that with him, I kind of just, I don't know. It comes out in your kids too. My son is like super clingy and attached to me. And my son also, when I'm in a bad mood, he's in a bad mood. Like mm-hmm. if I take him to the babysitter and I'm low, she's like, he in a mood today? Like, what's wrong? I'm like, we just feeling it today. And I thought about going to the doctor or going to therapy, but I always talk myself out of it. But they ask you after you have a baby, like, how are you feeling? Like, are these things that you're experiencing? And I would never tell them the whole truth. I'd be like, yeah, I'm sad sometimes, but I wouldn't say like I'm like through it, hurting my like. I would like lock myself in the dark in the bathroom and sit on the floor and cry, or like sit on the floor and like I was hiding like sharp stuff all around the room where nobody could find it, so that when I just wanted to like, I had to like convince my head like this is something that's wrong. Like I couldn't. In my head was like, okay, so if I do this, it hurts, but it doesn't hurt. Like whatever this is hurts, so I'm taking the attention off. So I got like everything all over me. Like it's like just because you're trying to cope in a different way, which is why yeah, medication sometimes is necessary. I don't have it, but I know it can help.
We do have a YouTube channel.
We have YouTube.
Follow us.
Follow the link on our page.
So. Please. I'm going to tag Strawberry Lemon to post after this, and then everybody can just follow that, and then you'll find our YouTube link.
Right.
So, yes. What was the last thing that you just said?
Oh, nothing. I was talking about going to the doctor.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I highly, 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 highly recommend therapy. If I could have it my way, every person would be assigned a therapist when they're born. Like, and as you're a child, like you go to therapy at least once a month. And I only say that because the problem that we have is that people do not talk about how they are feeling. Children just go through life and they're not being asked, like, how do you feel about this? How can I help you do this? Like, nobody's learning the child. People kind of like just toss children to the side.
And you know what? I think that it's important since we are aware of these things, like I try to talk to my son all the time. My son is 8. I'm like, why are you? The other day he was sad, he was crying. I'm like, Teron, tell me why you're crying. What is wrong? Like, just tell me. Don't say like nothing is wrong. Just don't tell me what's wrong. And he started. At first, he's like, nothing. Really, I'm crying for no reason. I'm like, Teron, come on. Like, what's wrong? Like. It's important to tell your kids, like, I'm here to talk to you. Yes. I'm here, like, what do you need? I had my son in therapy. Like, it's important to get that out of them. Because then they grow up and they like us. Like,
because, and another thing, like, we talked about this previously, how you're in a relationship with guys, because I think it's worse for guys. Guys are more disconnected from their feelings than women. So you'll be in a relationship, you'll be talking to them, you'll be like, do you understand me? Like, are you feeling this? And they'll just be like, I don't feel anything. Or I don't even know. It's not that I don't feel anything, but I don't know how to tell you how I feel. And it stems from childhood. It stems from children not being able to express what they're going through.
That's so funny because I think that in my relationships, I always end up with super emotional people. And I'm the one, and I don't express. So it's like, they'll be like, what is wrong with you? Like, I need this. I'm like, I just don't know how to do it.
I just want to sing.
I just don't know. Like, even with anxiety, talking gives me anxiety. Like, going in front of people to have like, I force myself to do it. This is cool because I'm, like, looking at y'all on this. I'm not in front. Talking, like, I've been on a bus and seen somebody I know, and I try really hard not to make eye contact.
So they don't talk to you. I do that too, girl.
It's like awkward though.
Because they see you.
I see you see me, but I can't
but I don't want to talk to you.
Yes.
I get it. But
let me go get my child. I'll be back.
So I'll read these. So my therapist I tried out years ago, couldn't remember her name. And made me feel even sadder about my situation. It was really, really, really mental abuse. So maybe I need a recommendation to a therapist. Girl, we all have had therapy issues. Like, you have to just search and keep trying out therapists. And I know that can be very exhausting, because it's like you have to open up to this person. You have to understand this person. You have to build a relationship with your therapist. So I understand why it's hard to find one, but all I can tell you is you just have to try and pray and Sometimes it's also not just the therapist. Sometimes it's us. Like when you are depressed, you already want to look at things negatively. So
this is Sebastian.
Hey.
He's not depressed or anything, but he's a crybaby.
Yeah, he's fine now though. He just wanted his mommy.
He's attached.
So so she said she's had a lot of problems with therapy, going to therapists, and I understand that. Like I had a therapist.
I've never been to therapy.
So. I had a therapist tell me, "Why are you here?" Yes, like because I was having a good day.
What?
Yes, I was having a good day. I was like, "Yeah, things are going pretty well for me." She was like, "Kayla, why are you here?" I was like, "Bitch, I told you last week I was depressed. Like, I'm trying to work through it. You, as a specialist, should understand the complexity and the ups and downs."
That's the worst thing in the world.
Yes, I had this older lady in Greenbelt telling me about other people's business. She was like, and the one before you, she thought she was all that in a bag of chips. And I could see on you that you think you all that in a bag of chips.
You're fired,
You
man.
just like my daughter.
You're fired,
I was like,
you're fired.
When are we going to get back to me, though? Like,
I'm scared to find a therapist because I feel like it's gonna be some stupid shit. I'm never gonna go to therapy again. That's how I feel.
It can happen, but I highly recommend it because I found a great therapist. This was in Baltimore, and she had the same story as me. She was from New York. She moved to Baltimore to go to school. She felt alone while she was in school. That's when like my depression really started. Well, that I became aware of it when I first went to Morgan. That's when I became aware of it. But as I got older, I realized I've been going through it my whole life. But
what happened at Morgan?
So I was away from my family, and I really understood how much I depended on my family and like the way that I was living. Like in my house, we're all a unit. Like we all do stuff together. Mm-hmm. We buy food. You can eat anything in the house. Like we're just really close. Mm-hmm. And when I went to Baltimore, I felt like I didn't really have that support or like that connection with people. I had my best friend, but I don't know. When it came to home, I just didn't feel homey. I don't know how to explain it. Like I felt like I was just alone in Baltimore. And I had
a great therapist. She just was the wrong one for me. Her techniques were not for me, but for someone else, she would have been great. What were her techniques? I mean, everything doesn't work for everyone. I heard people go through a lot of therapists sometimes to get to the right therapist. So I could definitely understand that. I don't think that talking to one person is going to ever make me, like, I feel like I'm going to have to, I go through friends sometimes. Like, I used to go through, like, the friends I have now, we've been through a lot of stuff, and I've, like, had people that were my friends that are not my friends anymore because they just weren't for me. So I could imagine going to someone. It's like you're still building a relationship. You have to build a relationship with your therapist.
Absolutely.
And I understand that everybody, just like every person isn't for you, every therapist isn't going to be for you.
Yes. So this person said, same time my medication was taken away from me, I stopped going to therapy. It's been about 2 years now. I should consider going back. Yes. So for you, it seems like you've had a lot of control by your parents. Your parents have tried to control your situation, but they don't understand what's best for you. Now that you're older, you really have to like take your treatments, your therapy sessions, all that into your own hands so that you can grow as a person. Because you're saying that it's crippling your business as well. And I know that's something that you're really passionate about. So just take it into your own hands. There's a website for Black therapists. I gotta find it. Yes. Please do. But I do highly recommend therapy. When I started going to the right therapist, that's when I really started to open up. My first therapy session was crazy. Like, so I went with her. So I went and she told me, and this is great advice. She told me to go back to when I was 5 years old and when I first started to feel depressed and tell me what's going on and talk from like a 5-year-old's perspective. Mm-hmm. So I was like, my mommy doesn't pay attention to me. Like little stuff that was going on, I can understand how that is affecting my relationships now. Goodness. And when I went back and understood how I was feeling as a child, I can fix the problems that I'm having now as an adult. Like I was afraid of rejection and neglect from my partner. So sometimes I would be like really clingy, not really clingy because I'm not a clingy person, but like I would just put so much into my
sometimes
partner.
You don't have to be a clingy person to put it on be clingy to your partner.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really a clingy person, but the people that I have super close to me, like my best friend or like my whoever I'm in a relationship with, it's like I expect you to. I'm putting everything on you because I don't have it from somewhere else, and this is my comfort. This is where I'm the most comfortable, so I'm gonna like latch on. Like I'm like going through that now. Where I was telling you earlier, where my best friend, my sister, is like she's in a new space in her life, and she's going through a transition period. And it's like a transition for me too, because I don't get to have her around as much, and I don't get to like be with her like I used to be with her as much as I wanted to, and like every time I needed her she'd be right there, but like now it's like we have to like do that but just in moderation. Like we can't I can't just pick up the phone and call her at 3 o'clock in the morning because she got something going, like she might not be available, or like I might not be able to have her. Like the other day I wanted to go get my nails done, but she's doing stuff now, building something with her own life, so it's like she has to go get her nails done with somebody else. And it's like it makes me like angry and like upset, and it gives me real bad anxiety, like that gut feeling that you feel like you're gonna throw up. I feel like that so often, but it's like I'm kind of like weaning myself away, so that I'm weaning myself away so that I don't. Oh my goodness, guys! I'm so sorry. What's wrong with you?
So,
but yeah, I'm like weaning myself off so that I can kind of like cope and learn how to deal with it myself.
Yes, and you have to train your brain to think a certain way.
For sure,
you really
like
do.
A breakup. When you break up with someone, you have to learn how not to wake up next to them anymore. You have to learn how to live in a space without that person. And I think that's just it's hard, man. That stuff, but you never know. Stuff you could have a feeling and it could be anxiety, or it could, like, I just realized I had anxiety like 2 years ago because I would always have anxiety attacks, but I was just thinking, girl, you tripping, you tripping. Like I was just thinking I'm tripping, like why am I breathing so hard? Like I'm like, what is wrong? Like I'm pulling on my hair, like I'm just going crazy. And one time I had like a real breakdown at work, and I just got so upset. Like everything was just piling on top of each other, and I was just had my hand in my head, and like tears just falling out of my face, and I'm just breathing so hard. And I'm like, what is going on? I got scared, and I'm like, okay. And I have anxiety attacks. Now I know how to breathe through them, but I didn't even know that's what that was.
Yeah.
And I did when I was little.
Anxiety attacks are the devil. That just had one this morning. Oh. And it's really, really bad. It's really, really real. I had one 2 nights ago. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I understand. I think
prayers are a really good support system. That's what you need.
I think you should just. I've learned to like breathe through it. Like and also take a breath in and just like slow breaths. Like you have to breathe through it so you can calm yourself down. Because otherwise, you just kind of you're gonna make yourself go crazy.
Yes. The tightness in your chest and your stomach, like you just.
I used to think I was having an asthma attack.
I don't know what I just be like, this is just you and you're just crazy.
Yeah, like, I used to tell myself that too. Like, you just out of your mind. Like, my friend told me before, like, you're not depressed, you're just crazy. I was like, maybe I am just crazy.
No. It's so beautiful that, like, you can actually research and figure out and get help for the things that you're going through. Because there's so many people that go through it.
Yeah, and that's why I don't always think it's a Me Too thing. I think it's just people are trying to bring awareness to it, so that since they're aware that they're not the only person that's dealing with it, so they want to be able to help other people that are going through it as well.
Even look at the Me Too movement. That brought awareness to the fact that a lot of women are getting sexually abused. So it's the same thing that's going
it's like,
on with
no,
depression.
everybody's probably not. Every single person in the world that says me too might not be going through that. But the ones that are feel comfortable enough now to be like, you know what? I'm not the only one. Let me go get help.
Yes.
So,
that's definitely a beautiful thing. I had one last night, well, every night, talking to my child's father. Like, he just don't understand how serious our son is to me, and our relationship has to be strong for our son. He make me break. Yes. I understand. That's a whole nother topic. Like, these people, when it comes to your child too, I couldn't drive. I couldn't stop crying. It's just too much with how he's being with my son's father affects me. I can't stand it.
Girl, look. I understand. That stuff
that's a whole nother topic.
Yes,
too.
And that relationships, kids, all that stuff is super, super serious. And those things, I could say personally, do bring you a lot of anxiety. He nodding his head.
He's like,
I've gotten to points with my kids that before where it's like when we're not good, it's just like everything falls apart. Like I leave work. I would leave work. I would like not be able to drive. I would not like if I'm in school.
This
I would
is a whole therapy session.
Like
people are like, yes.
Yeah, somebody said yes. Strawberry limb Sundays for the win.
Yes.
But like I've been in points where it's like I have gotten so low that I just couldn't function because I'm like, my family is falling apart and I don't know how to fix it. Is it my fault? Is it his fault? Like I just want my kids to be good. I want the best for them. And it's hard because it's like this is a whole other person that's involved now. And it's like when it comes to kids, they can't you're in charge of them. Like you until they're old enough to decide what's best for them and what they can and can't do and how they fit, like you're in control of them. So your relationship, that I had to learn that I had to make sure I was okay because of my kids. Like if I'm not well, how am I gonna take care of my kids? Like you have to explain that to their dad. I don't know if it's your partner or whatever, but your partner in parenting, you have to explain to him like, yeah, I need us to be like this because we have to be functioning to take care of these little people.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. You need unity and love to raise a child properly. You can't just have one parent wanting the best for your child.
We're in love and
not
in together. Love
you
like
love
for
the
each
child,
other and your kid. Like
and you have to respect your child's parent, like the other parent. It's so sad how disrespectful some people are to their children's parents, and I'm like, you guys had a child together. Does that mean nothing to you? Do you understand that you downing your baby mother is going to lower the quality of care that they're giving your child?
Even like, with the dads, and that's the thing. A lot of women put down their kids' dads.
Yes.
Now, I'm not even for the bad baby daddy stuff. I understand that it gets, especially even if you're not together, women, like mothers, do a lot. We carry these things for 9 months. Like that alone takes a lot out of you.
Changes your body.
It's like you have a different type of connection to your kids most of the time that the dad might not be able to understand or have. But there are also a lot of dads out here that are stepping up and doing so much for their kids. Like I've seen dads who are only taking care of their kids. They're the only one taking care of them. And I feel like I don't like when women put I be looking like you putting this man down, and you know how many people out here that don't have their that don't have. Oops, we froze. But you know how many people out here don't have their kids' dad.
Let me read this real quick before it comes off. She said, wow, I didn't think I would wake up this morning stumbling across a live that was amazing. I'm crying and smiling as we speak. Thank you ladies so much. Oh my God.
That was so nice. I'm so happy we can help.
I know. Yes, that's what I keep trying to explain to him, because our son needs to see a happy unit. Yes, unity and love. Love for one another is just crazy how he didn't see Dorian is affected by his actions. He sees it, he doesn't care maybe. Or
even if he cares, sometimes he just doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
They don't always look. Men don't always know how
things affect
how they are. Like if your dad wasn't around, or if your father, if a man, a woman, whatever, there are women who don't have their moms, and they don't know how to be a mom.
Yes,
That is a real thing. That's where that comes with working. You have to work with your person. Oh, maybe you gotta hold on, guys. We're answering a question for somebody on Kayla's live, so I want to make sure that she's hearing it.
Okay.
But
okay, we back.
Sometimes you have to work with the person that you're with. You have to work with them when it comes to your kids, just because maybe they don't understand. Maybe he didn't have his dad teaching him how to be a dad. Yeah. Maybe he didn't have his dad teaching him, or his mom teaching him, like, this is how you should conduct yourself in a relationship with a person that you share a child with.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't experience that. Yes, it's so frustrating because it's like, it's frustrating just because it's like, why you don't get it?
But it's so simple to get.
To us it makes sense. To us it's like common sense. Like common sense to us is, you should know to take care of your child. You should know that me and you should be good to be effectively taking care of your child. But what if maybe you take a step back and take it like, okay, what can we do together? Let me talk to him about what he feels it takes to take care of a child. Maybe he doesn't know.
She said yes, his dad died when he was 3, so how should I try and help this?
He might not know how to be somebody's father.
He doesn't.
And it's like, to walk him through it, if you can't, it's like, yes, just sit and be like, look, I'm really frustrated. This is what I would try to do. Look, I'm really frustrated because I want this to work for our baby. My son is we have a son, and our son needs, okay. And our son needs both of his parents, and our son needs to learn things from his father that I can't teach him. What can I do for you so that we can be on the same page and in sync with that, and so that we can give him what we didn't have and give him the best life possible? What can I do to help you, to help us get through this? That helps. Like, just talking,
communication is what I was gonna say too. Like, you have to let him know how it feels, how you feel, how it's affecting your son. Just, and once you let him know exactly what's up, like, there's nothing he can say.
You also have to make sure you approach it right. That's what you have to know too, because
y'all can't be angry talking.
You have to be calm when you talk. You also can't approach it like in attack mode. Like, you can't be being attacking in defense and coming in defensive, right? Because if I'm talking to my son's dad, I can't say, you know what, you did this wrong. You're not paying attention. You're not coming around. You're not seeing him. You're not doing this. What is wrong with you? I'm mad about it. And I'm automatically putting him in a defense mode. Like, he automatically got to fight me back because I'm coming for him.
Yeah.
So if I approach the situation like, hey, I just want to talk. Like, I love you so much. I love this. I love that you love our son. I just have some things that are going. I just have some things that I need to talk about with you, and I don't want you. I'm not saying this to come for you in a negative way. I'm saying this because I love you and I want us to make this work for our baby. So don't try not to point too many fingers, and try to just say, like, I learned that you have to watch how you say I, but you also can say I. Like, don't always make it all about you. But when you're approaching something, you could say, like, instead of saying, like, all you do is play the video. This is stupid, but this would have came in my head. All you do is play video games all day. That's like the dumbest stuff in the world. What is wrong with you? You could say, it makes me feel neglected when you just sit and play video games all day.
When I need help.
When I need you to be there for me. Be there for the baby. It makes me feel neglected and anxious and alone when you're not around. What can we do to fix it? Because kids is hard. It's hard. It's like, and then we dealing with all this other stuff that we got going on in our head and dealing with a kid. It's hard to manage that. But it's possible. And having the right people around you and being in a relationship that works is also helpful and effective. It's just an approach. It's like you can't approach it like, I know your father wasn't around, but that don't mean don't be around for my kid. It's like, no.
You're hitting a nerve.
Yeah, it's nerve. Like, just say, even if it's like, I wish my dad was more involved in my life. Maybe I would love for my son to have that too. That's like a whole different approach. And you really kind of saying the same thing, it's just in a nicer way.
She said y'all should be my therapist.
Oh, girl, we might add that to the service list. With our first child, we did parenting classes to help us both understand how to be parents. Parenting class, I want to go to parenting classes now. I'm 2 kids in and I want to go to parenting classes.
It's so beautiful. Like, you just never know what you're going to learn where. So just always be open. Open to doing things. Therapy, parent classes, all types of stuff.
All kinds of things that help you grow. This is for growth.
Absolutely.
And for becoming a better you. How can you become a better you if you're holding things in, if you're angry? It's like you have to like everybody today take some time and just be like, okay, how do I feel? Not how you always asking other people, how you feel today? Why not just be like, how do I feel today?
And write in a diary.
Yes, right.
That helped me so
doing?
much.
I started making videos.
Like where you just talk?
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
I did that. I started doing that this week. This week, me and my friend, we decided to take like a cleanse, like a spiritual cleanse, like a mental cleanse, just regroup, recharge. We haven't been on Instagram. We haven't been on any social media, and we just been kind of chilling the whole time. And here you go.
Hey.
And it's like I think sometimes we spend so much time on social media because it kind of gives us like an outlet. So
and it's a distraction.
Yeah, and so what I did was make videos on my phone, and I was like doing this just by myself, not talking to nobody. But I made a video and I was like, so today I feel sad. This is why. So today I'm really happy. This is why. And that helps. That's a diary in a way.
It is.
Like, that's a diary too. Yeah. So
just get your emotions out.
Get them out. Like, let them go.
That's so important.
And y'all can always write us. You can you can email us. You can DM us. We will give advice. We will, even if you want us to read it on the show, we'll read it on the show.
Like, we should start doing that.
We should. Like, we should get just
strawberry
write
mail.
Yes, strawberry mail. Give us some lemonade.
I gotta go to work. Thank you so much for this. Needed the fuck out of this. Real bad. This helped me take my stuff away and look at it with new outlooks. That's beautiful.
That's what we're trying to do. Point. Have a good day at work.
And we'll start OMG.
Find a reason to smile.
Yes.
Have a great day at work. So maybe we should wrap this up.
Yes.
Because we be rapping.
We do. And we need...
My baby then came all in the camera. Like, this is so unprofessional.
It is not.
But it is.
He's going to be visiting us.
He visits because I always got these kids. Look, we're going to be on a radio show tomorrow. Tell them the deets because I don't know them for sure. But this guy has said, what did he say? He had like 80,000 people listening. He has a lot of, look, we about to you gotta be there. So, I woke up in a shitty mood. Now I'm up, ready to handle this bullshit. Yeah, I'm so happy we could help you guys.
I know.
That's all we really want to do. Sometimes you need that Sunday morning inspiration. This church,
we need to start doing the Sundays.
I think Sunday's the day. It's like Sunday starts your week. Yes. It gets you up, gets you ready for the day. I think that's a good idea. But yeah, tell them about what we're going to be doing tomorrow.
Um.
Do you not know? Okay, look, we're gonna be on a radio show. We'll put it up tomorrow. Like,
What?
he's
Okay.
We're radio host.
Yes, he has. It's Blazing Radios. It's a Caribbean radio show, but we're gonna talk more about that later.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We hope that we were able to at least shine light or something. If you guys felt like you were going through something alone,
you can definitely write us. Yes. Our email is Strawberry Lemonade?
I think it's Strawberry Lemon at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
I don't know. We're gonna figure that out.
We'll make sure we post it. If you push email on our thing, on our page, you can go to email and we'll read your email. And then DM us. You can DM me personally at Yaya Saran with 5 underscores. That's YAYA and then SARAN with 5 underscores. Mm-hmm. You can follow her.
And DM me at Firecrotch, FIREE_crotch.
Crotch, like. And you could, just reach out. We could have more conversations like this. Maybe we'll just do every Sunday.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Strawberry Lim Sunday inspiration.
Yes.
I think that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll just do that.
All right, y'all. It was so nice talking to you guys.
It's been real.
See y'all later.
Bye. Oh, thank God it ended. Because sometimes it doesn't.
Girl, I'm going out of town.